From the Clark Ford Studio in Oxford, Mississippi, MBW Digital proudly presents the Oxford Exxon Podcast.
I'd say thanks for tuning in, but why am I going to give you a round of applause for something you're supposed to do, to be frank?
And now, here are your hosts, Chase Parham.
And broadcast school has really paid off.
And Neal McCready.
I deserve to be on TV.
Welcome to this Monday edition of the Oxford Exxon Podcast. Chase Parham, Neal McCready, Clark Ford Studio this morning. Talked a bit of college football as Ole Miss knocks off Southeastern Louisiana 40-29, setting up a big game this week against Cal as the Rebels try to get to 3-1 on the season. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about lines and more on the podcast. Is brought to you every single day by the Oxford Exxon, Highway 6 West in Oxford, with home games back going. Remember to take your Stadium Cup, take it to the Oxford Exxon, take it to all Blue Sky locations throughout Mississippi. 49-cent bottomless refills for that. While you're in there, check out the ribs, the lunch specials that are $4.99 with 2 sides of bread, 32-ounce drink. And when you get gas, you can get it a little cheaper, courtesy of the Speed Pass Plus app, the mobile rewards program, and much more there at the Oxford Exxon. Again, coming to you from the Clark Ford Studio.
We are Clark Ford's in Amory, Mississippi. 662-257-1900 is the number. Call it. Ask for Corey Clark. Tell Corey what Ford you're looking for. He'll send you a quote within 15 minutes of business hours. That simple. Right to the bottom line. No haggle, no hassle. You get your quote. The rest is up to you. You can shop it around. That's certainly your prerogative. Or you can go ahead and let Corey and the people at Clark Ford put you in a Ford today. You'll love the product. You'll love the service after the sale. Corey wants to be your truck guy. He wants to be your car guy. He'll prove it to you. 662-257-1900.
So you and I had a good sports day yesterday, right?
Yesterday could not have gone worse.
So what is the diagnosis on your infielder?
I mean, he didn't break anything. That was what there's no fracture. It's Anthony Rizzo for people who watched football all day. I watched virtually no football. He rolled it. I mean, I can't believe he didn't break it. I actually expect the second MRI to come back today and show some sort of a fracture. But there's no way he's playing for a couple of weeks. And there's 2 weeks left in the season. The season ends 2 weeks from yesterday. So they were taking advantage of us. The way the schedule works, the Cubs had a very difficult August schedule, and September is a little better, and started with this Pirate series, and they absolutely bombed the Pirates all weekend. And St. Louis' schedule is about to get really tough. I mean, they've got the Nationals for 3, they go to Chicago for 4, they go to Arizona for 3, then they come home and finish with 3 more against the Cubs. And the Cubs had a shot, and getting within 2 yesterday, if Rizzo's healthy, it's a completely different deal today. But with Rizzo out and Baez out, that just feels like too much.
It's probably fair. I'm beginning to think potentially my NFL season is over after 2 weeks. Drew Brees gets hurt yesterday. Did not sound very confident after the game. Said that he was not sure if it was serious, but would not rule out serious. They were going to see a hand specialist later in the day. At one point, he was shown on the sidelines, unable to even pick a football up.
I think he's staring surgery square in the face.
Yeah, I don't know. I was told by somebody, and it was a complete guess, but they had at least some idea of what was going on, that said a preliminary thought was 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Bridgewater's awful. Just terrible.
He's bad.
He's not good, and he's a really bad fit for that offense. Frankly, Taysom Hill is a better fit for that offense at quarterback.
I don't know how the money works in New Orleans, so you probably know better than I do. When I say New Orleans, I mean the NFL. I just don't follow it the way I follow other leagues. I know it's out of the – it's not – I don't know how the trade works. In other words, if I'm the Saints, I need another quarterback. I think Breeze is missing at least 8 weeks. That's probably realistic. And you don't know when he comes back what his hand strength is, what all those things are. I think they need another quarterback. And if I'm the Giants, I'm done. It's time to trade him. It's time to move him. It's time to move to the next guy. The Eli Manning era is over. It's over. I don't know whether that's doable, but if I'm the Saints, I'm making a phone call.
It would be very complicated. I mean, Bridgewater makes a lot of money as the backup quarterback. He's one of the highest paid backups in the league.
Yeah, I don't know whether you make a deal where you trade Bridgewater to New York and let him back up Daniel Jones. I don't know.
And I mean, frankly, at this point in his career, I mean, let's not act like Eli's Drew Brees. I'm not sure that's even an answer anyway. So
no, I do think he would be able to run your offense a little more effectively than what
Bridgewater just had no pocket presence yesterday. And I get the Rams front's good, but that was a Rams front without Aaron Donald for much of the game.
I don't think Eli's a long-term solution. I think if you told me that he could come in and quarterback 8 games and win 3 or 4 of them, I'd buy that.
Because suddenly the Saints' expectations or goals change. It's a matter of forget home field, forget any of that. It's just get in. And now look, if you could just salvage this thing a little bit, the division's terrible. So
Tampa's bad, Carolina's not much better, and Atlanta is
very
very average team.
Yes.
So 9 wins might win the division. Home field and all that. I mean, you got to quit worrying about that. Like you said, you got to quit worrying about that. You got to get to the tournament.
I mean, and the problem is that they very likely lose the next 2 games. They're at Seattle, and then they play the Cowboys at home. Very difficult games to win.
Yes.
Very difficult. But then if you could just salvage it, beat the Buccaneers, beat the Jaguars, play the Bears, who suddenly have no offense either, frankly. So see what happens. Yeah. And then beat the Cardinals. You're hanging around.
Sure.
That's the goal right now.
I don't know that.
And that gets you into a bye week before the Falcons.
I don't know that Bridgewater can win more than one of those games you just mentioned.
He just looked awful.
I'd have to, and he'll have a week now. But if I'm them, I'm exploring the market.
The good news for the Saints is until they just completely got worn down because the offense couldn't move the ball. The defense played really well yesterday. Eli Apple's terrible, but otherwise, not bad. Yeah. Pretty good.
No, their defense is good, and they should have had
a touchdown. You never know if you get that touchdown and you go up right there. I mean, look, the Rams were the better team without Breeze on the field, but it's potentially a different game. A little different there. It's not a conspiracy, but my God.
Well,
I mean,
it's. I always say this: it's incompetence. When you wake up on Monday morning, and the 2 things that the NFL people are talking about are injuries and officiating. It wasn't a good weekend in the league.
Yeah, it's incompetence, but it always happens the same way. Right now with Rams and Saints, it's 3 games in a row. Even the regular season game last year.
Well, it's such an easy fix. Don't blow the play dead.
And again, they had a pool reporter. It was Larry Holder. He talked to the official after the game who admits that, but it's just ho-hum. Okay, moving on. Well,
they don't care. There's no ramification for it.
Yeah.
Let it play out, and then they're going to challenge it. Let it get challenged, and then you take a really hard look at it.
Well, and all turnovers get challenged anyway. You don't even have to challenge it.
Yeah, so you're going to get it. You're going to get it right. Just let it play out, and then go get it right. And then if you come back and you rule it an incomplete pass or whatever, cool. Let the play out.
It's a free score on a day where there's no way Bridgewater was driving them 85 yards to score. So
no, it was a huge swing in the game, and I don't know that it ultimately would have impacted the outcome, but it was huge. It would have given New Orleans a big lift.
But yeah, you got that call and then the constant miss, or I don't know if it's miss or if it's just too. I don't know if the rule's written poorly. I don't know the thing, but the roughing the passer stuff in the Broncos-Bears games, good God. You can't tackle anyone anymore.
No, basically it's the Sam Williams call. They're no longer going to allow you to drive the quarterback into the ground, which means that you can't hit him and then fall on him. So you've got to learn. You're going to start seeing defensive linemen tear ACLs in attempts to not run through the quarterback. They're going to attempt to hit the quarterback and then fall off to the side.
Yeah, it's almost going to be a mechanical thing where you have to wrap them up and throw them to the ground. You know what I mean? Like almost.
Or wrap them up and not throw them to the ground. Just wrap them up.
And just hold him.
Hold him. And then hope that one of your dumbass teammates doesn't come take a shot at him.
And hey, do that while you're also trying to beat some all-pro left tackles running full speed. And then come to a complete stop when you get to the quarterback.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's,
come on.
You start seeing the injuries.
Yeah. This is stupid.
But, on the other hand, people go to games to see Drew Brees. They go to games to see the quarterbacks. And if the quarterbacks start getting knocked out, the game's less attractive. So it's a catch-22. You got to protect the quarterback, but at some point it's silly.
I don't know that there's more quarterback injuries today than there were in the past. I don't necessarily think that's necessarily the reason. I think it's just, hey, quote, game safer, end quote. And I'm not making fun of that. I'm just saying certain rules have been put into place for that mechanism.
Absolutely need to make the game as safe as you can. A young 16-year-old boy in Oklahoma died over the weekend playing football from a head injury. You got to make the game as safe as you can. And so.
But at the professional level, you can't lose the game in the process.
Right.
At the professional level.
Right.
So it's tough. I don't know the answer. It's not as easy as maybe as sometimes acted like. It's a very complicated thing. Because the NFL does lose its perch on it if just every week you can't touch anyone. There's no doubt. It's not about violence. It's just about the way we know the game to be played.
Well, they very clearly are sending a message because they did it to both the Bears and the Broncos. And I didn't watch the game. I heard about it later. I've watched highlights.
Yeah.
They clearly sent a message to both teams. You cannot drive through the quarterback. Even if it's a natural movement. You can't do it. They're not going to allow it. So defensive linemen and linebackers are going to have to adjust what they do when they get to the quarterback because driving through the quarterback and driving him into the ground is no longer going to be allowed.
And now they didn't drive them into the ground. He just fell on him. But those aren't the same thing. I mean, that's the two different.
From an official standpoint, when you're watching it live, that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
I'm not defending it. It's the wrong call on both teams. But that's clearly what they're saying, and so it's up to the players to adjust.
It's also something that's not called at the college level. So something somebody does for 4 years suddenly is illegal.
Yeah.
That's another problem, per se. I don't know. Whatever. I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, not the best day in the NFL yesterday. Just from a talking points standpoint on a Monday morning. You had a fire on the sidelines at the Titans game yesterday. The pyrotechnics thing blew up. That was kind of fun.
Yeah, everybody did the Tennessee Vols jokes, and then everybody does the he can have my thumb, he can have my back, he can have my ankle jokes.
Yeah, for a game that was so anticipated, Aaron Donald gets hurt, Drew Brees gets hurt, Andrews Pete gets hurt. The game looked completely different after about 25 minutes. It was a bit of a slog there for a while. Whatever, Rams are good, no doubt about that. Frankly, might be the best team in the NFC, I think, through 2 weeks. Just my opinion.
I watched the first hour of Cowboys-Redskins, and two things. The Redskins are really bad. The Cowboys are really good.
Cowboys are good.
They're really good. People can make Prescott jokes all you want. He looks like an all-pro caliber quarterback right now. They are surrounded with weapons, and he's got a very good offensive front, an elite back, good receivers, a veteran tight end, and he's executing that offense right now.
So, Ole Miss Selah, we did a YouTube live right after the game. You can go find that on the rebelgrove.com YouTube page. Thanks to everyone that subscribed. I think there's around 1,300 subs right now, so appreciate it. We asked for a little help there, and we got it. So thanks for that. You can go watch that for some of our immediate thoughts. really no huge thoughts from a game standpoint. It was CeeLo. They moved on. They won because it's kind of taken a little discipline on my part because there are some things to sort of pick apart. But I went into the Saturday going, okay, if they get a win and then they don't get anybody hurt, you just sort of move on. Because you look around the country, a lot of teams struggling with 1AA teams, a lot of teams kind of sleepwalking, especially before a big game the next week. I'm not going to hold a lot of that against them. I do think there was probably some vanilla and some play calling standpoint. As we mentioned in the YouTube Live, look, the secondary's got to get better. Mike McIntyre's going to sell out. He's going to do all he can to stop the run. It's going to leave some vulnerabilities in the back end of the secondary. They've got to fix that. Now, the positive is that the Vanderbilt quarterback won't be able to crazy exploit it. The Cal quarterback is not phenomenal, and nobody's going to judge you about what you do against Alabama and Tua Tagovailoa. So for the next 3 weeks, they have some opportunities there. But from a gameplay standpoint, Neil, defensively, that was the only thing I really took. And then on the offensive side, the interior of that offensive line needs to get better, and it needs to get better in a week because Cal is pretty good defensively.
Yeah, I literally dread this morning's press conference. We're going to rehash a game that does not need to be rehashed. One question after another about, well, I saw. No one cares what you saw. Well, I'll tell you what I noticed, Matt. I noticed the defense. Stop. They got to win. They have some weaknesses that really can only be fixed in recruiting. Coaches can't say that out loud. You can't throw your own players under the bus. They got to get better up front. They have a strategy up front that is, frankly, it's a long build. And this is where you get into that debate about whether people are willing to give him the time, what can be read into the attendance on Saturday. To me, those topics are far more interesting than can Eli Johnson and Royce Newman and get better up front. They kind of are who they are. Those kids are playing as hard as they can. I don't know that you can make Eli Johnson bigger and faster in the next week, that you can make Royce Newman bigger and faster in the next week. And you're right, they're about to play two really good defenses back-to-back. Vanderbilt's defense is okay. They're about to get tested offensively in a way that they haven't been tested yet. They've played a Memphis team that's average on defense, probably on a good day, an Arkansas team that wishes it could be average just once, and a Southeastern Louisiana team that's an FCS team. And so now they're going to step up, and we're going to see whether this works. People talk about the vanilla play calling and all of that. I just think when you're doing what he's doing, which is, I do think they were vanilla the other day. I think they wanted to just kind of work on some things, and I don't think they wanted to put a hell of a lot more on film. And also they wanted to protect the quarterback and not have a catastrophic game where a couple of pick sixes get you beat. So, and then on defense, like you said, it's the secondary. They're going to make stopping the run a priority. If you pull up their statistics, they're doing a decent job of it right now. Not great, decent at stopping the run. And that means that DBs are going to be in one-on-ones. And I'm not convinced Jalen Jones is back to 100% from his injury. And I'm not convinced the rest of that secondary is uber talented.
Ole Miss had two, a little something to watch here. I have grades and snap counts up at rebelgrove.com later today. But we point out the offensive line a lot. Had two offensive linemen. Only played 6, I think, 7. Played 7. 7? Yeah, 7. Only had two offensive linemen, had two offensive linemen grade out at 34.2 and 36.5 in pass protection on Saturday.
Who were the 7? They played the 5 starters, Broker and Matthews.
6, hold on. Yeah, and Matthews. Yeah, hold on. Howard, Newman, Matthews, Broker, Givens, Brown, Johnson. Yeah, that's it.
Who were the two low grades?
Brad Matthews. Now, it wasn't many snaps. He only played 13 total snaps in the game. He had 6 pass block snaps, but he graded out 36.5 on those 6 snaps. And then Michael Howard played 49 snaps, 26 of which were pass blocking, and he graded out 35.4. Pellerin also, out of 7 pass block snaps, graded out 34.2, but I'm not going to lump a tight end in with an offensive line.
Yeah.
Just noticing things here. Ben Brown with a really, really good day.
He's a really good player.
77.4 overall, which on this scale is very good, even though it's 0 to 100. Anything in the 70s is excellent. 78.4 run block, 65.7 pass block. Broker was fine, really good at pass protection, 82.5 on his 10 pass block snaps. And then Eli did a good job in the middle, pass blocking, struggled a little against the run. He was in the 50s against the run. So it's kind of just what I'm seeing here.
People say, well, if they play more players, they don't trust them yet.
Yeah, I mean, they played Southeastern Louisiana. The game was close-ish for a good bit of it, but they did. The other guys didn't play. I mean, Chandler Tuitt's not on the list. Jeremy James isn't on the list. This is who they're going with.
They don't trust those guys yet.
Yeah. So it just sort of is what it is.
I mean, they are an injury up front away from disaster.
Yeah. So we'll get into lines and more in 1 second. What did I tell you about Visit Oxford? VisitOxfordMS.com is the website. Head on over there, see everything going on in town this week and every week. You can see where to stay, where to eat, what to do and see with VisitOxfordMS.com. Great site to bookmark, and you'll get a calendar that shows you, hey, Michael Bolton coming to the Ford Center tomorrow, Neil.
Saw that.
Michael Bolton, 7:30 at the Ford Center tomorrow. On the 18th, you got more South Talks lectures. You've got Thacker Mountain on Thursday, as always, 6 to 7:30 at Off Square Books, and much, much more. So go see what's going on with the calendar there at VisitOxfordMS.com. Bookmark it and keep up to date with Oxford. Again, that's VisitOxfordMS.com/events.
I was just singing some Michael Bolton, man. Just a crooner, I tell you. You a big Michael Bolton guy?
He's a little outside my my date range, but I mean, I'm aware of a few songs. That's about as far as I can go.
Yeah.
So,
Michael Bolton, one of the people that if I have the story right, sent O.J. Simpson over the edge.
That is believed correct, I think. Yes, I think you were right there.
The podcast also brought to you by 7 South Tailgating. It's the premier tailgating service provider at Ole Miss. Although they offer your standard tailgating services such as tent, table, and chair setup and breakdown, there's so much more. They'll set up, break down, and store your own personal gear, or you can rent gear from them. They offer cooler, ice, beverage service, TV, satellite, generator service, storage bins for supplies and decor, chandeliers, tablecloths, box fans, carpeting, or hay, basically everything you could want. And you can rent from them. They'll set you up, whatever the case. So call or go online today for a detailed quote customized to your specific needs. 662-321-1682 or visit 7southtailgating.com. We're also brought to you by Oxford University Bank, OUB, locally owned and operated right here in Oxford. When you deposit money at OUB, when you deposit money at OUB, you put all that money goes right back into the Oxford community. Sorry about that. OUB gives you the comfort of home, all the benefits the big mega banks provide, all the technology and products you can want, all with the personal touch. They also give you Kasasa. It's the absolute best cash checking account. And with Kasasa, OUB will pay customers 2.5% interest on their balances up to $50,000 and refund ATM fees nationwide. They also have a commercial checking account now paying 1% interest as long as you keep $10,000 in the account. It comes with fully interactive online banking. To learn more, go to liveoxfordbankoxford.com or call 662-234-6668. OUB is FDIC insured. And we're brought to you by Harry Alexander. Harry is an Oxford-based RE/MAX Legacy Realty agent, a big part of Savannah Square. It's a new 9-acre development, 0.7 of a mile from the Oxford downtown square, conveniently located just east of North Lamar, just a short stroll from the Midtown Shopping Center. Several of those units are in different stages of completion. You can go check them out. The model home is also available to you at 215 William Street. They have wonderful layouts, impeccable finishes. You can see all of that at the model. Get in touch with Harry. Go to SavannahSquareOxford.com or call him at 662-801-5621. And we're brought to you by Grenada Nissan. If you're in the market for a Nissan vehicle, Grenada Nissan's the place to go. They've got a complete selection of new and previously owned Nissan vehicles, great lease deals as well. Go in, test drive one today. Tell Gene and Sandy that you heard about Grenada Nissan on the podcast. You'll get Rebel savings on top of the already great deals at Grenada Nissan. It's GrenadaNissanUSA.com.
Podcast also brought to you by Master Cuts Lawn and Landscape, premium lawn care throughout northern Mississippi, but a lot more as well. They build custom playgrounds, retaining walls, pool decks, outdoor living spaces with paper patios, forestry mulching, and much more. The path to your dream backyard, easier than you think. That's GoMasterCuts.com for a free quote, or give them a call at 662-607-7773. Again, that's GoMasterCuts.com. Getting into lines for the week, we'll have Nils picks up on Thursday as always, and we'll actually have a line for the Ole Miss game this time. Southeastern would have covered that 31-point offshore line from last Saturday if you decided to get in on that. I think it opened at 26 and it moved to 31, but nonetheless. Let's see, your Thursday game, you get Houston at Tulane. If you're interested, Tulane is a 3.5-point favorite in that one. And then you get a trio of games on Friday. I guess the Pac-12 has your premier game. That's Utah at USC. The Utes by 3.5, although, frankly, USC kind of sucks. Clay Helton's done, right?
Yeah, he's done now.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay. Air Force at Boise, your 9 o'clock game on Friday night. No, you're interested.
Ooh.
Broncos -8 against the Falcons.
Ooh.
Alabama at an 11 a.m. game. Greg Byrne not real happy about it. Kind of pissed off, actually. They play...
But he's really not. He's just saying that to appease his fan base.
And he thinks it might help down the road, frankly. Greasy wheels and spokes and whatnot.
The rumor, by the way, is Ole Miss Alabama is going to be a 2:30 game.
That'd be interesting. I wouldn't hate that.
No.
Be pretty happy about that, actually.
Yeah, that's the rumor.
Is it? Okay. Southern Miss at Alabama, 11 o'clock Saturday. Pretty good day of football games, actually, in the SEC. And Southern Miss, Bama, one of your worst ones, obviously. This has a 39-point line on it.
Ooh.
It's a lot.
I'm filling these in on Neil's picks as you're telling me, by the way.
Okay.
I've already set everything up, but I didn't have the lines because I couldn't find them.
So you're multitasking?
Yeah, that's what I do, man.
Okay. Yeah, opened at 39, sitting at 39.
Okay.
So you can take that one. Let's see. A game that was really cool in 1998, not so cool now. Tennessee plus 14.5 at Florida. That is how it opened. The Gators are now a 14-point favorite over the Volunteers.
I watched the end of Florida-Kentucky. It's actually one of the few college games that I saw much of. Kentucky's going to look back on that game for a long time. They were, frankly, the better team, should have won the game. Set up for the kick, and the kid, bless his heart, he just missed it.
Stoops has done a really good job there.
He's done a really good job. They have a really good product.
Yeah.
They should be 3-0 right now.
Tennessee's a dumpster fire, and Florida's okay. We'll see what the quarterback situation is. Felipe Franks gets hurt Saturday.
Florida plays with a lot of confidence and a lot of swagger. It's very similar to the way that Mississippi State played under Dan Mullen.
And we thought that would really translate since Florida should have better players, obviously.
And it might eventually.
But they're just stuck in this little middle area. They're not bad, but they're so far away from Georgia that it's not even funny.
Yeah, they just got to keep recruiting good players and
frankly, keeping them on campus and recruiting players that don't get you in trouble. I mean, hell, they lost 3 of their top kids last offseason.
Florida State's fallen off. It might be something in the water in Florida.
Miami's not exactly some picture-perfect program.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that state as a whole. I'm not. I don't like Florida. I've told you that.
What's your overwhelming grievance with Florida?
It's just hot. It's hot all the damn time. Dirty, steamy. Traffic's bad. People are mean.
It's also like 3 states in one. Kind of north, middle, south.
Yeah, it's just.
I mean, because there's very little, connected or similar about the Panhandle versus the tip.
Yeah, if you told me, hey, you can never go to Florida again, I'd say, okay. Cool. Doesn't do anything for me.
Okay. Let's see. LSU at Vanderbilt on Saturday. That's another 11 a.m. game. All these at 11, by the way. This thing opened at 19.5. It is moving, though. LSU minus 23.5 now. I would have liked that a lot better at 19.
I would have, too.
23 is making me a little nervous.
23.5 is what it is right now?
It is 23.5 right now.
Yeah, I wish we would have locked that in.
Yeah, I'm annoyed with both of us about that one. I usually really pay attention to lines. I did not do that yesterday.
LSU phoned it in against Northwestern State, as they probably should have. They let anybody who had any kind of remote bang-up just didn't play. So they took them a little while to kind of get going, and then they did, and they were fine. They're really good. We're about to. I think we're about to see them prove just how good they are over the next few weeks. That's kind of my feeling. I think Alabama's more vulnerable to LSU this year than they've been in a long time.
Well, because it has a very likelihood of just turning into a track meet.
Yeah, and LSU's got a shot in that track meet.
OddsShark predicting a 46-18 win by LSU on Saturday, which would be a cover.
Yeah.
They are predicting a 39-18 win for Florida, which would be a cover.
My inclination is to lay the points with LSU.
It's mine too. Georgia beat them 30-6, though. Is that what it was? I believe it was 30-6.
I think that's right.
Because the line was somewhere around 20, and they did cover it. Vanderbilt couldn't score, but they did do a decent job of holding Georgia.
Georgia does not have any flaws.
They're good.
They're really solid.
What everyone predicts to be a very, very close game, the California Bears in Oxford at 11 a.m. That's 9 a.m. out on the West Coast, facing Ole Miss. This line opened at Cal -2. Now it's a straight pick'em.
Oh, I didn't even know it opened as a -2. I thought it opened as a pick'em.
No, it opened Cal -2. Now I have it as a pick'em.
Okay.
OddsShark has Cal winning the game 30-28. S&P Plus, however, is not big on the Bears whatsoever. I was reading that a second ago. Dylan was helping me with that. Cal, who is 117 nationally offensively, S&P Plus says Ole Miss by 5.6 on a neutral field, and that they would make the line 8 for the Rebels.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So, little different version there. But either way, Cal and Ole Miss, 11 a.m.
This is going to come down to decision-making by quarterbacks. Cal is not particularly happy with their quarterback right now. Says he's holding onto the ball too long, not really doing what they're asking him to do. The beginnings of a quarterback controversy there. And then with Ole Miss, I just think it's the continued progression of Matt Corral making decisions. Just got to make good decisions.
We don't have... Go ahead, finish that thought.
He's having periods where he makes great decisions, and he's having periods where he looks like a redshirt freshman.
We don't have the number yet on the total. However, Cal's last 5 games have all gone under in the over-under.
Their defense is very solid. It's going to keep them in games. It's going to keep them in the Ole Miss game. It's going to come down to turnovers, quarterback making decisions. My opinion. I mean, duh.
The talking points for every game that's supposed to be close, frankly.
But especially in a game where, look, Ole Miss's offense is more dynamic than theirs. Their defense is more dynamic than Ole Miss's. I don't think I'm breaking any news there. So it's really going to come down to...
It almost comes down to the other side of the ball. It's, hey, can Ole Miss, cause a couple turnovers? Do they get sliced in the passing game?
for either team, a defensive touchdown would be huge. Devastating, frankly, to the team that gives it up. If you're Ole Miss, you want to make Cal earn every point. You don't want them to. You don't want to throw into coverage or hold a ball too long or whatever, and give them 7 on that side where their offense takes some pressure off their offense. You need to put the pressure on their offense. And if you're Cal, on the flip side, you can be pretty conservative, I think, and you want to put the game in the hands of your defense against a redshirt freshman quarterback. We talked about this last week, Chase. I pulled it up, just basic stats, but Elijah Moore has 18 catches, more than 3 times the guy who's number 2 on the list.
Is that Drummond?
No, Drummond only has. It's Pellerin and Cooley each have 5.
Okay.
And then Drummond has 4.
Okay.
I think that's right. But bottom line is that they haven't, and I know it was supposed to be Braylon Sanders and he hadn't played yet, but they've got to establish another receiver. If you're Cal, you at all times know where Elijah Moore is.
People are curious about temperatures and heat and all that kind of stuff on Saturday. Early game time weather, 89 degrees with 52% humidity. No rain. It doesn't rain anymore, so.
It hasn't rained here in a month.
I got about a 45-minute monsoon on Thursday or Friday.
Oh, I'm jealous.
Yeah, it was just, it was 45 minutes of just downpour. And then it was gone. But
yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it was Friday because I was stunned. I thought the ground would have just soaked it up. I played golf yesterday morning, and there was actually a couple spots where it was sort of wet.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, not a ton, but just a little. So, anyway, Cal Ole Miss, we'll get into plenty of that as the week goes on, but some analytics-wise, some different numbers from different sites. Should be close. Should be interesting. Let's see. Kind of scrolling down. I know bad pod, but I lost my spot. Your Warhawks are in Ames, Iowa on Saturday, giving 19 to the Iowa State Cyclones. Did Iowa State beat Iowa? They hold on?
We're giving 19?
No, get it. Come on.
Getting 19.
Yeah. No. You're about to go put a mortgage down on that bad boy, weren't you?
I was about to go take care of the college expense. I was about to say, hey, Chase, I got to go.
Is Northwestern's quarterback out still?
Yeah, I think
that's the only answer here, right? Because Northwestern's getting 7 against Michigan State at home, and Michigan State's not very good.
No, I think Northwestern's quarterback's out for the year.
Okay. Wisconsin in a game in the Big Ten that might be pretty watchable and kind of good. Wisconsin giving 3 to the Michigan Wolverines in Madison this weekend.
What time's that game?
That game is at 11 a.m.
Ooh.
Yes, 11 a.m. for that game.
Yeah, that's
not bad. That's pretty good.
I like Wisconsin's team, and I love watching Michigan lose. So I might get my wish there.
The 2:30 game this week in the SEC is the Auburn Tigers traveling to College Station to face Ross Bjork, Jimbo Fisher, and the Texas A&M Aggies.
That's some good bull right there.
You like this one?
It's a good bull.
Okay.
Gig 'em. Yep. Thumbs up.
It opened at 3.5. It's now at 4. The Aggies giving 4 to the Tigers.
Huge game for Gus Malzahn, man. Huge. I know we say that a lot.
He's got a lifeline because of getting bailed out against the Ducks in week 1. But yeah.
Big game. Still got LSU, Florida, Georgia, Alabama.
I early just thought I really liked the Aggies here. I'm not a believer in Bo Nix yet. Now, Auburn can run the football, but it was Kent State. I'm sorry if I'm not going to get all up in arms about that.
Well, they went with Gatewood a whole lot in that game against Kent State. But like you said, it's Kent State. I think of the 2 teams this season, Auburn has the most upside. But in terms of playing one game right now in College Station, I kind of like the Aggies, I think.
Yeah, I think I do too. This game is probably not very compelling, but if you're interested in just a little flip on at 2:30 when you're trying to find something else to watch when the Ole Miss game ends, Washington, trying to survive its season, is in Provo playing BYU on Saturday. Could be kind of interesting. in a game they have to win.
If you say so.
It could.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know what else is on at 2:30, but I'm just saying if you need a flip during commercials, okay.
Yeah.
Watch Jacob Eason throw it around a little.
Yeah.
It's fine. Phil Longo and his Tar Heels are facing Appalachian State on Saturday, and they're giving 3.5 points to those guys. Yeah, no more DMs to all the Ole Miss media members this week.
So weird.
It's a little weird.
It's not a little weird. It's a lot weird. But he's so kind of tone deaf that he might not even thought anything of it.
Oh no, I think he just.
Hey, let you know how my team's doing. And, I mean, you want to respond with the DM that goes, "Why would I care?" I mean, out of curiosity, why would I care?
Okay, I know of about 5 people that got these DMs. Obviously, I haven't asked everybody. It's not like I had some great relationship with Phil Longo. He obviously probably sent them to some North Carolina media members. How many people do you think he sat there at 6 a.m. sending DMs to?
The other people that you know, were they media people or?
Yes, media people. Varying levels of media people across multiple platforms.
Well, I know he probably sent it to Antonio Morales. He probably sent it to Maddie Lee.
All those people on his address book, essentially.
Yeah, Antonio now covers USC. Maddie Lee covers the Oklahoma City Thunder. Send it to you. You cover Ole Miss. He probably sent it to 50 people.
50.
Just bizarre.
Not to be a Houston Nut guy, but yeah.
Just weird.
Yeah. I don't know. Just making a point. All right, we'll get into the rest of the lines in a second. Before we do that, Community Mortgage, Oxford, Memphis, Soto County, and Chattanooga. Underwriting and processing is done in Memphis, so your local underwriting understands your market, a leader in condo financing, the float-down option, and with rates as low as they've been in about 2 years. Good time to give Jason a call at 662-234-2704 or JLOWE at communitymtg.com.
Podcast also brought to you by John Edwards of Regency Travel Incorporated in Memphis. If you've been thinking about that golf trip with the guys you'll never forget, maybe that anniversary trip she'll never forget, whether you dreamed of playing St. Andrews or sitting at a cafe in Paris, talk to John Edwards before you try to do it yourself. Why use John? Well, he's part of Virtuoso. It's a worldwide network of travel partners that allows John to supply his clients with added values and unique benefits that are simply not available to other travelers. John traveled the globe for 37 years before getting into the travel business, so he knows the extra attention that's needed to make a special trip, one that creates a lifetime of unique memories. So if you're thinking about going with the boys to Pebble Beach or taking her to Napa for the vacation of her dreams, call John, give him some parameters and a budget. He'll give you options, and no, you don't have to live in or near Memphis to take advantage of his services. 901-494-3387 or send him an email, jedwards@regencytravel.net. First-time clients save $50 off their first booked trip just by telling John you heard about Regency Travel on the podcast. The podcast also brought to you by the Westin Jackson. It is a Marriott property in downtown Jackson. They sponsor my mailbag, which will be up on Wednesday at some point. The Westin Jackson is also home to Soul Spa. It's the ultimate luxury spa experience in downtown Jackson. You can indulge in personalized massages, signature facials, soothing body treatments, and so much more on their extensive spa list. And then you can head over to Estelle Wine Bar and Bistro, have a creative craft cocktail, enjoy their curated wine list, or enjoy breakfast, lunch, dinner, or Sunday brunch at Estelle in the Westin Jackson tonight. And we're brought to you by Pinnacle Trust. Pinnacle Trust based in Madison, Mississippi. They've got clients in more than 20 states, advisors in several states. They provide detailed, specialized investment management, financial planning, retirement planning for individuals and businesses, and so much more. At Pinnacle Trust, investing is treated like a commodity. Decisions are made using objective information and research, not emotions. So regardless of your level of wealth, Pinnacle Trust will sit down with you, listen to your goals, study your expenses, and put forth a comprehensive, detailed financial and retirement plan that is built just for you. It's pintrust.com, PINN trust.com.
See, 3 o'clock is the start time for this one. I'm assuming SEC Network, even though I don't see it up. We spoke of the Kentucky Wildcats, and they're on the road
It is the SEC network.
Okay, Kentucky facing Mississippi State in Starkville on Saturday. State coming off that loss to Kansas State, and look kind of average pretty much all the way around right now. Kentucky at State, and this line opened at 7.5. The Bulldogs now giving 7.5 to Kentucky.
Hard to hand 7.5 points on this one.
I'd love to know what the line would be with Terry Wilson. Be closer to Pick'em, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I think he's worth that many points to Kentucky given the situation.
The kid, the Troy transfer, played okay.
Sawyer Smith.
Yeah. Played okay.
I think I'm going to take my 7.5 and see what happens.
I know we'll probably talk attendance at some point. State's attendance for a Kansas State game had to be alarming to the people there. And I'm not getting into the whole rivalry thingy. I'm not. God, stop. You guys that are listening and think I'm taking a shot, I'm not. I would be alarmed.
Beginning to wonder when it goes from alarm to just the way it is.
Could be.
I'm not getting to it right now, but just
could be.
That's sort of my thought as I was reading some of the comments to your 10 Thoughts stuff and just kind of thinking about it over the last 24, 36 hours. Let's see. Also, 3 o'clock on Saturday. What channel is this on? South Carolina at Missouri.
SEC Network, and one's on SEC Network alternate.
Oh, so one of these is getting the alternate treatment?
That's my understanding.
Ooh, okay. Well, South Carolina, fresh off their cover against Alabama, those idiots, on Saturday. They are in Columbia, Missouri. They are facing the Tigers, and the Missouri Tigers are favored by 9.5 points.
I like Missouri. I've been saying this for a while. I think they'll look back and say that the Wyoming game was it's my opinion, they'll say it was a blip.
Potentially a costly blip, but a blip nonetheless.
Yeah, but I mean, unless they're bowl eligible, it won't matter.
Oh, that's true. I know nothing about that. But they've got to stay right now, right? Since they're appealing?
I think so.
They're, in theory, bowl eligible currently, right?
In theory.
Okay. I think that's the way that works.
But I do anticipate the Freedom Fighters will get this resolved because, God, we would not want those young men to go to the Texas Bowl if they had committed some of the atrocities that they have been accused of.
Yeah. How much would I have to pay you to sit down and really analyze and break down at 3:30 on Saturday, West Virginia at Kansas?
How much would you have to pay me?
Yeah.
A significant sum.
Bad football.
Kansas went and won. They went and won at Boston College.
They won at Boston College. Kansas State won at Mississippi State. If I'm getting this date wrong, I'm only getting it wrong by a year or so forgive me. Nick Suss looked it up, and with odd trivia, I trust him more than maybe any person on the planet. He said the last time Kansas and Kansas State both won non-conference Power 5 games in the same week, 1977.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. 1977.
Big day in the... What is Kansas? Is it... What state is it? Is
I
it like...
don't know.
Got a lot of wheat state?
Got a lot of wheat.
What's Kansas known for?
Kansas State nickname.
Just flat, right? Just being flat?
It is the Sunflower State or the Wheat State.
Hey, look at me.
Also called the Jayhawker State, although I highly doubt Kansas State adheres to that.
Yeah, I wouldn't think that they would like that.
Dave Doran plays Ball State. He's a 19-point favorite this week. Let's see. Arkansas at home, coming off that big win over Colorado State, hung more than 100 on the Rams.
Yeah.
God bless the Rams defense. Arkansas.
They stole the club dub thing from the Bears. They had club dub in the Arkansas locker room after the big win.
Grief.
Yeah, he's a little cheesy for my taste.
I see nothing to this point.
I'd be able to say he's a little freezy for my taste.
Well, I was about to say, I mean, in all seriousness, I mean, I'm glad it's not Thursday because I don't have to hear Jeffrey complain about it, but he's a worse Hugh Freeze at this point. That's what he is.
That's
There's
fair.
nothing in his resume that tells me he's better than Hugh Freeze.
That's fair.
I mean,
I can't argue.
he was very average at SMU. He wasn't good. Clearly, the Clemson machine works without him. So far at Arkansas, he just makes me shake my head.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
And he tries too hard.
Yeah. He
Making
thought Ben Hicks was the answer. That's enough for me right there. SMU beating some people and actually playing okay without the dude as the quarterback.
Yeah, they've been better with Starkle,
Well, yeah.
which makes you go, so you had a month, right?
I think it was some loyalty. He talked him into transferring.
Yeah, I get it. But you owe it to the rest of the kids to play the right guy.
And they know who the right guy is. They see
You can't
practice.
fool kids. You can't fool them. They know. So those guys are sitting there going, so wait a minute. This dude can throw. This dude can't throw.
Let's play the dude that can throw.
Yeah.
They play San Jose State on Saturday night, and they are 21-point favorites.
Oh, they're rolling now. Rolling.
Portland State, Colorado State, San Jose State, Western Kentucky.
In fairness to them, they did have Michigan on the.
I know.
I mean, I'll give them that. I've ripped them a lot, but I will at least give them the reality of, hey, this was not the original intent.
The point being, though, you only need a pulse to get to 4, and then you go from there.
Yeah, well, they needed 4, and then Ole Miss, and I'm
Somebody
telling
else.
you, when I tell you this, the other one that they could get, Mississippi State. I know what I saw Saturday. And I didn't even see the losing part. Because at 1:20, the Cubs and Pirates started, and I flipped the channel and never flipped back. In fact, when I got to the press box, and you told me they had lost.
Yeah.
But I know what I saw.
So this is not where my TV is going to be on Saturday night. I'm going to watch the SEC game that I'll get to in a second. However, if you want a fun game, I like the visitors' quarterback. Obviously, Texas is kind of fun. Oklahoma State at Texas Saturday night could be kind of entertaining.
Yeah, that could be fun.
That's pretty good. Opened at 9.5. The Longhorns are now favored by 7 against the Cowboys.
That's a fun game.
Yeah, that's a good game.
Yeah.
Now, from a TV ratings, it is going to be second on Saturday night because what is going to win out is Notre Dame at Georgia at 7 o'clock.
What's that line? About 5?
It opened at 10.5. It's now at 13.5.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
That tells you 2 things. It tells you what Vegas thinks of Notre Dame, and it also tells you just what a monster that Georgia has built.
Yeah, Vegas is not buying into the Notre Dame thing in this one. I think they'd like to probably make some money instead of buying into the Notre Dame thing. Because you put that line at 4 and you've got potentially 90% of the money on Georgia.
Oh, at least. I mean, look, I'll lay 13.5.
You'll lay the 13?
I mean, the interns won't even have to look at that game.
Oh, really? You're automatically Georgia minus 13.
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Tell you what, they just showed a replay of Ryan Braun's home run yesterday. When the Brewers win the division, remember that moment.
Whoa. When the Brewers win the division?
They're only 3 out now.
Okay.
They're only 3 out of the division, and their schedule is cake the rest of the way.
Really?
San Diego, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Colorado in their last
12,
13.
13, okay.
Got a day off. All 3 teams have 1 day off left.
Okay. Then your nightcap.
St. Louis has Washington, Chicago, Arizona, Chicago. Cubs have Cincinnati, St. Louis, Pittsburgh, St. Louis.
Your nightcap game, if you're a gambler, the one that I guess you bet on to try to make everything up, 9:30 start on Saturday night. It's a funny line to me just because of these programs, where they were in the past, where they are now, how bad of a train wreck one of them is. UCLA at Washington State, and the Cougars are favored by 18 against the Bruins.
Isn't that amazing?
Washington State minus 18.
He has built them into a steady 9-win program. Hey, Tennessee, you should have listened. And UCLA is an absolute train wreck. And some of the people who are Chip Kelly apologists try to prop it up. And it's like, dude.
He was innovative in 08, but everybody does that now. There's nothing about him that's innovative.
Things change.
Did some major program go back to like the option or the wishbone to try to be innovative the other way at some point?
No, because you wouldn't be able to recruit.
Okay. It's almost like if you're not built for that as a program, being the basketball coach that comes in and goes, "Hey, we're going to slow this puppy down."
Yeah, NFL teams don't do it. If you don't do something that is at least resembling what the NFL does, it makes it very difficult to recruit.
Yeah, makes sense.
And the NFL does a lot of they steal some ideas from the college level.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, things move up.
Yeah,
it's kind of interesting. So that's your slate. I don't know. There's a few games I really like. There's some that I would certainly pass if we were not picking everything.
Oh, Ole Miss Cal's a really, really good, interesting game. I think Kentucky, Mississippi State's a really big game for State. Big game for State. This thing could go squirrely on them. I'm just telling you, it could go squirrely. Obviously, the 2:30 game is fascinating. It's a really good game. And then Georgia Notre Dame, just because Notre Dame's name and all that stuff is good, I have a feeling that game's going to be a snoozer.
You think it's a blowout?
Yeah, I do. I don't think Notre Dame has the athletes to play with Georgia.
We discussed last week about Matt Corral not throwing balls to the left side of the field. At least per Pro Football Focus, he did not throw one last week against Arkansas to the left side. I'll post these charts at rebelgrove.com to get a full view. However, on Saturday, he threw, a total of 31 passes, and 2 went to the left side out of 31.
Not exactly a blip anymore. It's a trend.
Yeah, he was 22 of 31. 1 drop, so take that into account. But yeah, 2 passes to the left. 1 was deep. He completed it for a 23-yard gain. Another was completed as well for a 3-yard gain, so right in front of the line of scrimmage. He threw 6 passes to the right, and then he threw 8, 15, 23 in the middle between the numbers. So 2, 23, 6, I believe is correct. Just something to look at, something to follow. That's it.
Something to follow. He's a work in progress, and Rich Rodriguez says this over and over, and he has to remind himself a lot that, hey, this is a freshman. I don't know why fans push back on the he's young quarterback thing the way that some do. He's a young quarterback.
He was 7 of 10 Saturday when facing blitzes. Did a really good job of getting it out of his hand. I get it with C-Law, but just pointing stuff out.
I thought he played a pretty good game. He had a couple of moments where he had one play in particular where he really held the ball too long, and it cost him 7 points.
He was the highest rated player on Ole Miss's team on Saturday. 84.7.
Yeah, I thought he did okay. I really did. The people that are screaming for another quarterback, I don't know what I don't know what it is that you're wanting him to be, what you're wanting to happen there. He's been pretty good.
Second best on Saturday, Jerry and Ely, 78.1. Just ahead of Ben Brown. I'm more impressed with Ely by the week. He again did well in pass protection, which I think is a huge deal, 77.4 in pass protection. He's an interesting guy. He's a charismatic guy. Frankly, he's probably the face of the program here pretty soon in a year.
I think so.
He's an NFL running back.
He is, and very charismatic. He reminds me a lot of Kamara with the Saints, frankly.
He was phenomenal after the game. We just started talking. He lets his guard down. He tries to actually have conversations. He's funny. He wasn't in a hurry Saturday.
they should bring him in every week.
Yeah, we had a 2-minute conversation about how when he was growing up, he wanted to be an offensive lineman. Said that he was upset he was not bigger.
They should bring him in. They should bring Sam Williams in. They should bring kids in that have personalities. And if they say something, quote, inflammatory about another team, it doesn't matter. My God, the games last so freaking long that there's no way you could maintain the intensity for 4.5 hours anyway.
Brian Rippey made this point on Saturday, and I couldn't agree more. Now that they've given us the length of the TV timeouts on that little clock that the guy holds, I'm even more annoyed. I was much better off with ignorance and bliss than I am knowing that this timeout is going to last a minute and 45 more seconds.
3.5 minutes.
It is the biggest challenge for me. Not attendance is probably a topic for tomorrow. It's the biggest challenge for Michael and those guys over there because the flow is screwed up no matter what. There's nothing they can do about so much of the flow because of these stupid timeouts. Just bogs it down.
It's the first half. I mean, you ask people to get to a game 30 minutes before it starts for pregame stuff and to create atmosphere.
So 2:30.
And then the game starts, and this first half goes 2 hours. I mean, literally, it's almost 5 o'clock when the second half starts. Hell, it might have been after 5 o'clock.
I think it was right at 5 o'clock.
I mean, that is a lot to ask of people. And don't you guys out there going, oh, come on, millennials or whatever. No, stop. It is what it is. You know that it's hot. Presumably they started their pregame a little early. Everybody in the Grove does. Hard to criticize the kids. You can't be stunned when they say, God, we've been here forever. Like that Auburn Texas A&M game Saturday. Let's get it away from Ole Miss for a minute because everybody gets so charged up about different things. That game kicks off at 2:30. It's a CBS game. Over, under. Is it over? Is the game completed before or after 6:15?
Yeah, I was going to say, if you said 6, I would go over. So 6:15 is a good total.
What's your guess?
I think because both teams are going to run the ball a lot, it's going to go just under, but it's still going to be a 3.5-hour game with 2 run-heavy teams.
You wouldn't feel great betting it.
No. I would go just under. But yes.
And that's the difference.
Because it has no chance of being over before 5:50.
I don't know why they can't adopt, at the very least, the NFL's clock rules.
I'm beginning to wonder if it's because the game management is worse.
It could be.
Because that puts a lot more pressure on quarterbacks. You know what I mean? You don't get as many stoppages to go, okay, let me just go here.
Yeah.
That might be it. I have no idea, but that's
could be.
That's the thought. So, podcast brought to you in part by G&M Pharmacy. They're on South Lamar and Oxford. Deliver local to your home or workplace in the Oxford area. That's 662-236-2222. They also offer MedSync, which allows you to for your prescriptions whenever you need, whatever day of the month, to make sure you get everything as quickly as you can. And with flu season approaching quickly, Tyson Drugs and G&M Pharmacy, they have flu vaccines available with a $0 copay on most insurance plans. No one has to wait in line or do anything like that. You stop in quickly and painlessly, get your flu shot. That is, again, Tyson Drugs on the Square in Highway Springs, or G&M there on South Lamar Boulevard. That's 662-236-2222.
I know that everyone will be eagerly anticipating picks on Thursday. Those are brought to you by Southern Craft Stove and Tap, located off Highway 7 and Sisk Avenue. Southern Craft Stove and Tap places an emphasis on food and atmosphere, mixing the quality of fine dining with the come-as-you-are environment, featuring 30 craft beers and offering a high-quality selection of cuisine and libations. Southern Craft Stove and Tap has you covered for any occasion. Join them for lunch, dinner, Sunday brunch, or have your favorites catered out. Catering orders placed online currently receive $25 off any order totaling $100 or more. So avoid the chaos of parking on the square. Head over and experience carefully crafted dishes with your favorite Southern ingredients. Southern Craft Stove and Tap, Highway 7 and Sisk Avenue in Oxford. Searching for that unique way to brand your company swag, have a special event to memorialize? Dead Soxy has you covered with their custom sock program. Click on the custom socks link and they will walk you through the entire process, from the complimentary digital mock-up before your order is placed to delivery, logistics, and even custom packaging. Dead Soxy is your place to create a gift they will use time and time again. With all-inclusive pricing, no upcharges or fine print, the custom sock design process is as simple as it gets. Head over to deadsoxy.com, deadsoxy.com, /custom. Remember, you can still save 30% on general orders with the promo code Rebel Grove. And as always, stay Soxy. We're also brought to you by Blue Delta Jeans. I'm not sure where Blue Delta is going to be this week. I need to get in touch with Blake. I know they're kind of all over the place. For some reason, I want to say Nashville, but don't hold me to that. You can get in touch with them and find out. If you want a private fitting, book an appointment, info@bluedeltajeans.com. I know they were at the Graduate, I think, on Friday night. So get in touch with them if you're coming to town for the Cal game. Believe me, they'll make it work for you. It's also, they've been announced as the official jean of the USA Ryder Cup team. It's we've been telling you for a while that Blue Delta is perfect for your golf tournaments. This partnership, there couldn't be a more ideal product now to bring to your golf club for tournaments and events. The Gino is out in the open. They're pre-selling the fabric. It's soft and comfortable. Great group of colors. They're going to begin late next month, right around Halloween. So don't miss on the opportunity to reserve your spot in the first run of this great new fabric line from Blue Delta Jeans. And we're brought to you by Jackson Beer Company. They have 10 beer taps for sampling and growler fill. Mix your own pack of beers from the single shelf with more than 350 beers to choose from. Ask about the kegs to go. Join their text program for special deals. It's JBeer, JBEER, to 51660 on your device. Follow them on Facebook and Twitter at Jackson Beer Co. On Instagram at Jackson Beer Company. It's 662-638-3642. They're located at 1801 Jackson Avenue West in Oxford. And we're brought to you by Splinter Creek. It's a gated conservation community located 8 miles southwest of Oxford, within 75 minutes of the Memphis airport. SplinterCreekMS.com. You should check it out. Absolutely gorgeous. If you're coming in this weekend, you want to see it, get in touch with Tom Smith Land and Home Agents, 601-898-2772. They've been featured in Garden and Gun, Architectural Digest, Southern Living, and more. It's 34 lakefront lots. They range in size from 2 to 25 acres, 650 acres of lakes, pine, and hardwood forest, 6 miles of private roads. They've got running, cycling, and hiking trails, a preserve for turkey and deer. There's a flyway for birds, and it's home to bald eagles. There's just so much to see there. The lakes are the main streets of Splinter Creek. They each have a combination of docks, floating piers, a pavilion with fire pit, outdoor kitchen for use by homeowners, their families, and guests. It's a great place for swimming, quiet boating, fishing. You should really check it out. SplinterCreekMS.com, 601-898-2772.
So for RebelGrove.com subscribers, on Saturday morning, I listed basically who I knew as known applicants for the Ole Miss Chancellor position. There's a couple different things to that. There's people that just filled out the application, that were nominated, all that kind of stuff, and they got sent to that original search committee, or advisory committee, sorry, not search committee. And then also, there's some other candidates who, essentially the way it's written is the IHL can add candidates, and what that does is that allows some people that are in their current spots to not have to go through as much of the public process. We're talking about people like Bobby Robbins, talking about people like Philip Gunn, I would assume. So there is some of that as well. But anyway, 19 names at RebelGrove.com. If you subscribe, you can go check those out. There's plenty of conversation and whatnot. Still think things are mainly on schedule, and I think it will be cut to give or take 8 here in the next week or so. And now that's 8, maybe not counting some of those other candidates, so still could be around 10 or whatever. But either way, they're going to chop this list here coming up pretty soon. Kinda cool.
It feels like I'm not going to get the job.
Well, you didn't fill out an application, and I don't think you're one of the people that would be able to be just added in later.
Yeah, I wanted to keep it private.
I don't like your chances. You do have at least one terminal degree, though. That's positive.
Yeah. Well, and I thought about, I really thought building a big lake in the middle of the campus was going to be something that would attract people. But
What, do you want to make the water ski team a little better?
I wanted to bring in a water ski team.
Okay.
I know the coach I was going to hire.
Oh, really?
I mean, I don't want to give away everything, but yeah.
Thought you might go steal somebody's coach?
I had a plan.
You had a plan?
Yep.
I mean, you could have filled out an application. I saw the application online.
I needed to run it by a few prominent local figures because I think that's the way to get things done around here, but it just didn't happen. Didn't get all the way to the top.
Okay.
Maybe next time.
Just quick thoughts for everybody. Again, I'm not going to give the list away on the podcast, but I thought it was a pretty good field. I thought the pool that I've been able to confirm is pretty good. Couple people that I was not aware of in the academic sector that are very talented, very well regarded. So there's some options here. There are several people who would make a lot of sense in this position. And again, if you're a subscriber and you've seen it, this is not an all-inclusive list. There's no way to get that. So some names are certainly missing. There's just nothing I can do about that. So anyway, okay, that was sort of that. Just wanted to point out that it was there at rebelgrove.com if you so desire, if you're perusing. We still haven't really gone over the basketball schedule. We got plenty of time to do that. Not really worried about that yet. Just kind of seeing what was on my list here, Mr. McCready.
We got a little time.
You think so?
Yep.
Apparently that 18.5-point line was not enough with the Patriots-Dolphins games yesterday. At one point I saw it was 40-something to nothing.
The Dolphins are just like, I want to demand a trade off of the Dolphins. I don't even play there.
43 to nothing yesterday, Patriots over Dolphins.
That doesn't happen in the NFL.
Including 20 points in the fourth quarter.
Oof.
Laramie Tunsil got his first win with the Texans yesterday, beating Gardner Minshew and the Jaguars 13-12. The Jags had a 2-point conversion to win it, and Leonard Fournette was stuffed on the play.
Did Tunsil get hurt? I thought I saw your brother tweet that.
Oh, really? I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, no, what happened to him?
I don't
know. Texans tackle Laramie Tunsil's ankle injury not considered serious.
Okay.
He's, quote, good after ankle scare.
Not considered serious, I'll tell you that.
Ankle injury not serious. You'd love to know that one later today, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Oh. When Joe Madden's quote was, it might not be that long. I was like, oh, God, please.
That's funny. Yeah, Laramie got rolled up by teammate Zach Fulton during the game yesterday.
Zach Fulton cut from the Texans. Hey, it was a good run, Zach.
But it says he's quote good. Said it's part of football, no problems. So
Zach Fulton says, "Oh, thank God."
Yeah, I can stay.
Yeah, I don't want to be. He got home and said, "Honey, don't unpack everything."
Oh, he even returned in the game. Okay.
Okay.
He came back. Bill O'Brien said, "I don't think it's too bad." So he's all right.
Yeah.
13-12, Texans over Jaguars.
I need a stiff drink, babe.
If nothing else, Jacksonville becomes interesting because Gardner Minshew is a character. I'll give him that.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
His outfit is fantastic.
I like guys who are in on the joke.
Yeah.
Gardner Minshew, Baker Mayfield, be in on the joke. It's fun.
Well, he's also setting himself up to have a career when this is over.
You think so?
Yeah, it's smart.
Never know how long it's going to last.
No, and have some personality.
Yeah.
He's not a Hall of Fame quarterback.
No.
So don't try to be one.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a game.
Yeah. So, all right, Rebel Grove, you'll get Neil's 10 thoughts. You'll get some Pro Football Focus stuff as the day goes on as well. And then you'll get whatever is said from Matt Luke, Rich Rodriguez, and Mike McIntyre later today on the site. Again, watch our instant analysis if you didn't from Saturday. Subscribe. We would appreciate it. It's completely free. Just takes one button there from your YouTube account. and we'll be back tomorrow with another edition of the podcast. Take care.